Hi, Stamper fans. Welcome to another Make It Monday. Thank you so much for tuning in. Whether you're here on Facebook or if you're watching the replay on YouTube, thank you so much for joining me. I'm Nan Gerlitz, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Bloomington, Illinois, and I am here to help you connect with your people, whether that's crafting together or you making handmade items to share with them. It's all about making and deepening those connections. So let's get to it. There we go. Okay, first up, as always, is Friday night Stampin' results. And it is the Stamper Man for the repeat. He has taken 2 weeks in a row now. So I better get my button gear this week. This is a sneak peek at a new bundle that is coming, I think it's November 4th, whatever that first Tuesday is, which I believe is the 4th. These will be new online exclusives will be put out. So make sure you're checking in for that. Always fun to have new stuff available. Some two-step stamping going on here too. Really cool. And then I popped up with some pattern tags. I have yet to figure out kind of how to make cards really well with this die set, but primarily I bought it to make tags for our Christmas gifts. So it's fine. All righty. Couple of things I wanted to share with you. One, I just found out Stampin' Up! Has just announced that we have free shipping, woo! Wednesday through Friday this week. So October 22nd through the 24th on any order of $75 or more. Now, if you have earned some Stampin' rewards or you've got coupon codes or anything, that's going to lower your order amount. So it does have to get to the 75 like after those things are applied. So just so you're aware. But once it hits that 75, the free shipping will just automatically kick in and you'll see it in your cart. So awesome, awesome time. Russ was just asking if we had free shipping coming up. So yes, honey, we do. Okay. And as always, throughout October as well, we have amazing starter kit offers going on. So be sure, if you've ever thought about being a demonstrator, whether you want to actually run a business or you just want to get a discount on the goodies, October is a great month to do it because you can choose from one of two offers. One is you pay $35 plus tax and you get to pick out $125 worth of products. Your choice, whatever's current, and pre-order stuff. So the new stamp set that Russ used is on a pre-order. And when you're actually going online to put your kit together, you will see the pre-order options too. So you can already take advantage of that. The other option is to spend $99 plus tax and get $189 worth of products. Again, your choice, including pre-orders. So lots of good stuff happening right now. Let's see. All right. It is, oh, that was the other thing I wanted to tell you. We were talking about creating connections, and I had my first monthly class last Thursday, and I had some women come that had also attended World Card Making Day, and they were telling me that they actually sent the cards that they made on World Card Making Day, and you know, their friends were just so appreciative, and there was that connection making again, right? And so we were talking and getting to know each other. It's just such a great time. I love crafting with people. I've missed it so much. I always love hanging out with you folks online, but crafting in person really fills me up. So my next class in person in Bloomington, Illinois is November 20th. If you're in the area, or if you're going to be in the area on November 1st, which is a week from this Saturday, I will also be at the Bloomington High School at the craft fair. So come check me out. Check out my wares. All righty. And here we go. The Stamper Man wants me to buy him some new stamps this week with free shipping. Okay, twist my arm. I'll be happy to do that. Okay. So it is Technique Week this week, and we are learning the Smooshing Technique, which cracks me up that it's called that. This was actually a technique that came out of World Card Making Day. So it's lots of fun, and I thought I would give it a try, and it worked out really well. So I'm going to take my little grid paper off my glass mat, even though you're going to get a glare, because there's kind of three ways you can do this technique. And the first one is really great on the glass mat. So we need some inks. So for this first one, I am going to use Secret Sea, Timid Tiger, Poppy Parade, and Darling Duckling. And I'm going to build kind of a sunrise or sunset over the sea. So you want to start with your lightest color. And the reason you're doing this is just in case you touch colors to each other, you won't contaminate the darker ink pads as much that way. So I'm just going to kind of give it a little, just drag it on my glass mat there so I have a little line of the Darling Duckling. And we're going to come up with the Timid Tiger. And we'll pop a little line of that in. This is not an exact science. Just kind of get some ink down there, and that's all you need. And then our Poppy Parade for the top. And then Secret Sea for the sea. I bet you can't figure out what stamp set I'm using. So that's going to be way more than I need because I just need it to cover that amount. But, you know, it's a glass mat, so you can just have way more than you need. I also forgot to grab my paper towels. So, honey, I'm going to use your chamois. So next you need a Stampin' Spritzer. You could use probably another spray bottle, just water. That's all I'm using. This one's just water. I love the spritzer because it gives a really fine concentrated spray. It's been very good for any of my techniques that need a water spritz. So you are going to spray liberally, like get that really good and soaking wet. And then just lay your cardstock down on it. And it is going to saturate, let me tell you. We'll have a little bit of bleed through. That's fine. And then you have this gorgeous background. Like seriously, that's even better than the sample one I did. So what I recommend is put something really heavy on that. And then it will dry flat. You can also hit that with your heat tool, which I'm going to do tonight because obviously I need to keep stamping. You guys are not going to hang out with me for a couple of hours for that to dry. All right. We'll get our chamois here and clean up my mess. So you could probably get a couple of passes with that if you've got enough ink going there. You could also use re-inkers to kind of get some more ink going. That would be absolutely fine. Let me grab my heat tool because I also forgot to grab that. So yeah, anytime you're working with something that's kind of like watercolory or anything like that, if you're not patient or if you just need to move fast, you're going to want a heat tool. Could probably use a blow dryer, but a heat tool is going to be faster for sure. And I am not worried about any white space or anything like that because it is supposed to look kind of artistic, right? You can always trim that if you didn't like it. You could cover it with die cuts, all sorts of options for that kind of thing. Okay. Boy, I really watered that up. It's fine though. Okay, so next, yeah, we're going to be using Sunrise Sailing. I know you guys are all shocked. Totally. But, you know, we're going to have a little sail at sunrise. So we've got our little sailboat. And just a piece of scrap paper because it doesn't matter. And let's grab our Secret Sea. We're going to do all the rest of the stamping in Secret Sea. No, I lied because I'm filling in the boat with other colors. I did not mean to lie to you. Please forgive me. It's very quiet in here tonight. My buddies must have had things to do this evening, so I guess I'll see you on replay. So if you're watching on replay, hello. And if you're not watching on replay and you're here, then why have you not said hello yet? Okay, let's grab our, need a smaller block. I got them all out. For my, the inside of my sails. So this is the only thing I've noticed with the glass mat is sometimes it's hard to pick up your stamps because they stick to the glass mat as well. All right, some Poppy Parade stripes in our sails. Oh my goodness, seriously. I need to clean the other side of my stamp is the problem. It is not sticky enough. And another thing I've noticed with this particular stamp is take the left side of each of these and try to marry it up with the lines. And that's when I feel like you get your best placement on that. Ooh, and let me tell you, that is a nice red because I'll show you my sample afterwards. My Poppy Parade needed to be re-inked, so I re-inked it yesterday, and now it's nice and vibrant and juicy. Lovely. All right, and then I chose my Timid Tiger for the hull of the boat because it's going to be against the blue, and blue and orange are complementary colors, so I thought that would look really nice against the blue. Oh, you can tell I don't use my glass mat as much anymore because it gives me this glare, so I usually cover it up. My favorite orange, Timid Tiger. I'm loving these new in colors. Timid Tiger and Darling Duckling are both new in colors that we added this year, and they are gorgeous. All right, let me grab my Secret C again. We'll die cut that in a minute. I'm going to hit this a little more with the heat tool. I think I just sprayed this a lot more than I sprayed the one I did yesterday. But I also I did those Saturday and I let them dry overnight. So that's a big difference. That's better. All right, we need a couple of birdies. We need a little sentiment. We do a happy retirement. I would like to do a happy retirement so I could just hang out and stamp all day, right? And go do karaoke. You know, things like that. We'll do a couple of birds. Let's face it, we're going to do 3 birds because everything in 3s is more aesthetically pleasing, correct? And then also I want to do some waves. So even though this background is gorgeous, I thought adding a little bit of interest down here with some Secret Sea waves would be really pretty. And I honestly couldn't decide which way was right to stamp the waves, so I just stamped them both ways. I suppose they're more ripples than waves. But either way. All right, let's die cut our sailboat. And then we can finish assembly. All right, we got our mini out today. I'm going to put this block back on here. There we go. I've got our little mini because I knew my sailboat would, yes, whoosh, fit in there. I thought I might not have cut it quite skinny enough, but I did. So I have noticed that most of our dies get like right flush up to the image. And this sailboat, for some reason, has a little bit of a halo kind of around the dies. So sometimes you just need to play with things and figure out, the best way. But it was very obvious to me that it needed that little bit of a halo. So we'll see. I took a picture of my setup tonight before I started, and we'll see how much of a mess I make. And I will take another picture when I'm done. I don't know if this one will be too bad, though. Okay. Now we have a thick white base, just your standard base. And I've got Secret Sea here. So we're going to add this layer to the Secret Sea. I will say that I add more adhesive than normal because I want to make sure that the edges don't curl up because they're so saturated with ink. Excuse me. All right. And I also have found that these cards don't need a lot more layers or bling or anything like that because the backgrounds are so gorgeous and so colorful that, you kind of just have enough right there, right? All right, let's pop some dimensionals on this sailboat. And I like to use these little edge guys for the hull because I can kind of get down, most of the width of it, and they're skinny enough that they don't stick out. Use all of the stuff, right? Don't waste it. So then I want to put this down so that orange is, whoops, I guess it's going to be off to the side. Oh, I like that better. All right. So seriously, how vibrant is that? I'll show you the one I did Saturday. So this is much more subdued. I obviously didn't use as much ink, and I don't think I spritzed it as much either. And then here's that Poppy Parade that was not re-inked. Look at the difference. Huge difference. So this one's just a little more vibrant, a little bit, and the sea is a little rougher, which is fine because I'm not in that boat. So there you go. There is technique number 1 there for smooshing. Next one we are going to use, and I'm not going to show you, I'll just show you the finished project so you don't have to wait for me to dry everything. But the second one, we're going to use a silicone mat. So if you don't have a glass mat, don't, freak out. You're just fine without it. You can use a silicone mat instead. The same kind of, excuse me, technique goes. So we are going to use Pecan Pie and Azure Afternoon. So I think I'm going to start with the Azure. And I'm basically just going to stamp with the ink pad. And we're going to go Pecan Pie on the bottom. And our silicone mats are 6 by 6 inches, so they're perfect to cover a basic card size. So you'd be all good. Okay, so we're going to spritz again, same kind of deal. And again, liberally, because you want everything to kind of watercolory, right? You want it all flowy. See, and it'll, you know, drip up over the edges. This one's curling because lots of water, and that's fine. So now we have this really cool, what I decided was like a desert scene on a really, really sunny day. So we'll get this out of my way so I don't put my arm in it, because I did put my arm in something the other day. I think did I tell you guys, or did it happen afterwards? I was stamping and I had my Lost Lagoon ink pad over here and open, and I was working with another ink pad and reached over and like all the way down my wrist and my forearm, I had Lost Lagoon ink. So yeah, I do it too, which is why I'm usually more of a organized stamper, because I'm, you know, I don't like that. So for this one, I pulled out the Love and Strength stamp set, and I did a couple of rows of the mountains, and I did a little bit of the, they're just speckles, so it kind of mimics sand in my eyes, and then did the little sentiment, finished it off on the inside. But seriously, no bling, no extra layers. I'm just letting the background speak for itself. And look at all this white space I've got to where the ink wasn't as saturated there. And it just gives it a lot of really cool character. Just a very desert vibe, in my opinion. So yeah, there's the second way you can do it. Ink pads straight onto your silicone. And then the third way, see here, just checking my notes to make sure I got everything. Okay, yes. So the third way is you can take an acrylic block, and I've got our biggest one here. This is, what letter is this? F. This is the F size. So this particular one is about 5 inches by 6 inches. So obviously it will cover pretty much a full-size card, which is perfect for what we wanted. So I'm just going to do part of this tonight so you can get an idea, but I have grabbed my re-inkers. And so you can go light to dark, dark to light with this. It doesn't really matter because you're not going straight with the ink pad. So I was going to go, I've got Granny Apple Green here. I'm just going to dot it all around wherever. And my thought for this, because I used the Scenic Adventure bundle, was I wanted kind of a nature scene or a camp scene or whatever, right? Now I've grabbed the Old Olive. I'm going around a little bit there. And then Mossy Meadow. And the Mossy Meadow, I think I want more on the perimeter, right? Like maybe you've got a little bit more light towards the center of everything. And so once again, we're going to spritz. So you can, when you're doing it with this way especially, you can go color by color. So you could do one color and then do another and then do another, or you can kind of mix them like I did. So again, we're spraying liberally. I'll pop it down here. This one's going to get very oozy as well. Just look at that. That is so cool. It's almost like a science experiment with just the green. So to see the finished card I made with this particular technique, you will need to check my newsletter this week, because that completed card with the top all done and everything, and all of the stamps and dies and whatnot, that'll be in the newsletter, along with measurements for everything I've done here tonight, everything I showed you. The supply list for this card is in the video description, so you can click on that right away. But for everything else, you're gonna check my newsletter this week for all the deets, as the kids say. The kids aren't saying that, I'm sure. Let's face it, they've moved on from that, right? So, all righty. So, yeah, that's about all I have. Make sure you remember free shipping this Wednesday through Friday, the 22nd through the 24th. I'm shocked that Miss Penny is not on this call, because her birthday is the 22nd. So happy birthday to Penny. That was really nice of her to give us all a gift. All righty. That's all I have for you. I really hope you're going to try this technique. It's really super simple. There's 3 different kind of versions I gave you. So depending on how maybe messy you want to get, and if you're a little worried about ink on your hands, then maybe wear gloves. But I hope you picked up a little inspiration. I hope you picked up some tips. And here's your reminder that if you did, go ahead and tag your bestie in the comments or share the video so that they can get some inspiration and some tips as well. Until next week, I'm still Nan Gerlitz. Happy stamping.